say this house was built, or do you know?
1890 is when it was built.
1890.
Grandpa was the...
And that's a good, what, 250 yards that you moved it to here, probably?
Yeah, I think the driveway seems like it was 1,400 feet or so.
It's nice in here. You got all your woodworking tools.
Straight to the shop.
Straight in. Hey, that's where the magic
The
happens.
living room, this is my living room. People come here and they, well, I thought that was going to be a living room down there. Yeah, that's my living room.
That's where you live anyway, ain't it, most of the time. Oh, I like that right there. That's nice.
You added this, right?
Yeah. Maybe that wasn't here when you were here.
You were working on it, I think.
Yeah, this is where I stored all my vegetables. It's a great little room just to hang out in.
These brick probably hold some heat, huh?
Yeah, you can tell the temperature difference just coming in, can't you?
I built this. This is it's sort of timber framed, and there's 2 inches of foam that wraps under the brick, up the sides, and over the roof, continuous, uninterrupted. Then I hung the eaves and the soffit on after that. So it's like a, you know, sort of a refrigerator. It's completely enclosed, except for the windows. It's got 2 inches of foam around the whole thing. So it, with no heat or anything, it stays 20 to 30 degrees warmer than outside. So,
Man, so you can start your plants, what, a month and a half early or so?
I got some. I'm starting some maybe today. Usually I have more growing. I grow, but I've been so busy on other things I didn't this year. But usually I grow lettuce and all kinds of things in here.
Did somebody saw this lumber up for you?
Me?
Well, you saw it?
Yeah, I got it from a storm came through and blew down a bunch of pines, and I got a guy with a wood miser to come and saw it all up.
Oh, okay.
So it's local. These windows were in there. This house was filled with crap. It had 50 years worth of
Man.
crap in it.
Yeah.
Basically.
These windows were?
Yeah, they were all busted up, and this one didn't have frames. It just had the sashes. But I cobbled it back together, and it was enough to do what I wanted here.
That's awesome.
This is a nice little room to sit in the wintertime, I guess, ain't it? Just sitting here and sunshine coming in.
Yeah. I've slept out here, I eat out here, I sit here and watch the deer and the birds go by. It's a nice room.
You have a lot of wildlife come up out here? I seen your big fence around your garden, so I figured you had some deer issues. They like that free food, don't they? So have you always lived a lifestyle like this, or is this something you just
Not always.
wanted to do?
Since I was younger than you, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, like when I was 30, I sort of
You're originally from
checked out.
Kentucky, right?
No, I grew up in Colorado.
Oh, did you?
I lived in Kentucky for a long time, and then here, back to Kentucky. I moved around a lot.
Yeah.
But this is sort of, I got interested in living like this a long time ago.
Yeah. That's how it seems a lot of people you talk to, they've been interested a long time before they actually started doing it.
Well, in the 60s and 70s, I lived in a much more primitive life than this. I lived real close to the land.
Yeah.
Really?
And we really grew almost everything. We bought gasoline and beer, and that was about all.
And that was it.
Yeah.
Man. So you said you had some other people that same mindset helping out? Where was that at?
That was in Kentucky.
Kentucky?
Eastern Kentucky. You want to see the boat?
Yeah, man.
He was telling me he was building a boat.
Yeah.
I told him as much as it's rained lately, we might ought to start all building one.
Well, it might become an art. I don't know.
Man, that is insane. That is nice.
Might be coming up.
So you've built all of this by hand?
You added this on just to work on the boat?
It's all just screwed together, so it's
You didn't want to put shake up there?
I don't want this. I'm going to take it down pretty soon.
Yeah.
It's just a place to get out of the weather.
Man. So how long have you been working on this? How long do you think it's going to take to complete?
Well, I'm waiting on the trailer. It's ready. It's nearly 99.9% ready.
Oh. You gonna sail on it?
Yeah, I got sail sails.
You made all this?
Yeah, the mast and all the booms. It's all cypress here. And then all hard pine, and the hull is made out of marine grade plywood.
Have you did a lot of sailing in the past, or just
None.
none? Oh, that'd be one way to learn is jump off and swim, huh?
That's my plan. I did take, last summer, I took 5 lessons in Lake Altoona because I didn't know what I still didn't know anything about it.
You don't have to jump off and swim. He's got a boat.
Yeah,
Well, if it
I'm
floats-
pretty sure it'll float from.
Well, I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
If I know.
Man. So one day you just woke up and decided you was gonna build a boat?
Yeah, I guess something like that. I was looking something new to do.
Yeah.
When you start getting as old as I am, you realize you need to keep your mind active.
Yeah.
Best way to do that is
Learn new things. Yeah.
And I didn't know port from starboard. I've never built anything like this.
Where are you planning on selling at?
Local lakes, and then when I learn how, I hope I can take it to like down to Mobile Bay and Apalachicola,
Oh, okay.
Cumberland Island.
Yeah.
Then I hope to take it to Maine, where there's a lot of wood boats.
Okay.
A lot of wood boats. It's all made nearly out of recycled. These floors are redwood. I remodeled an old office building on the square like 20 or more years ago, and somebody had built a sort of 1950 partition out of this redwood, and they wanted it gone, so I took it, and I've been saving it, looking for something to do. I had enough just to do these floors. It wasn't long enough, that's why it's pieced right there. And it's redwood, and all the hard pines, stuff I've collected. Gordon gave me some pieces. Some other people gave me some hunks.
Gordon seen this? What do you got to say about it?
He likes it.
Yeah.
These tops got dark from all the varnish, but there's dogwood strips in there. He gave me a piece of dogwood he'd cut a long time ago. It's supposed to stay lighter, but it didn't.
How many hours you think you got in something like this estimated? Tons and tons.
I mean, you didn't work on it that long.
Well, I've been at it 6 months or something.
Yeah.
Sometimes I work every day, and then sometimes I don't. It just depends on what's going on.
Yeah. Do you build other furniture for people too? Is that what
I used to.
you used to?
But that's what it is. It's got 2 sails, one there, and then there's a little sail here called the mizzen.
You've been reading up on that?
Trying to,
Yeah.
because I got to figure out how to rig it now. That's why I'm waiting for the trailer so I can get it out of here, put the booms and all that stuff, and then I can rig up all the sails. And I got all the, tried to figure out all the different ropes and pulleys and cleats and all this stuff. I made all these things out of rosewood. I had a hunk of rosewood I bought once.
Oh man, that's hard, isn't it?
Yeah. There's no, they've cut it all down, but they're going back and harvesting the stumps now,
Oh, really?
2 feet high or
Is that
something.
what these were?
Yeah, well, I got it from a place that sells pen making supplies, so it was like 1.5 inches square and 16 inches long or something.
That's what Levi made some pins out of, wasn't it? Rosewood?
He might have some rosewood, but
But it's
Yeah.
like, it's
yeah, we
Sounds like metal.
dense.
hard, dense stuff, so I thought I could make, I don't know if it'll work or not, it may bust. I've made all these different cleats and stuff out of them. So theoretically, I've got everything. When I get it out here, I can screw all those, they get screwed to the mast in different places. And
How long did you research things before you started building this, or did you just start it?
I tried to read about it,
Yeah,
because you got to figure out what you want to build.
yeah. What type?
Yeah.
I mean, how'd you start this thing?
Well, it's built upside down on forms. set of plans, and there's 7 stations, they call them. So there's 7, he gives you a full-size drawing of the shape of every one of those 7 stations. So you trace them out on a piece of plywood and build a ladder and
Gotcha.
screw them down to that, and then you bend all the blanket around those forms.
You have to soak that plywood in water or anything so that it bends better, or is it?
It all went.
Well,
Some of these pieces, I was thinking I was going to have to steam when I tried to get them on. They were snapping and popping.
yeah.
I bought like 50 clamps.
I see that box of clamps behind you right there. Uh-oh, I'm gonna break your rotor before you take off.
All these, I just kept clamping and clamping. And it finally stayed again. Stayed so far. It might come loose. I don't know. All of this is unknown to me.
Well, how many are you taking with you when you go?
None. If I sink, I don't want anybody drowning on my couch.
How many coats you have on this?
I think there's maybe 1 coat of sealer and 4 coats of varnish.
Yeah.
And probably 4 coats of paint or something. I forget. A lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they sort of recommend. And it's all marine kinds of stuff. It's not like Sherwin-Williams. or
Yeah.
anything. It's real strong, real strong. And it sort of screwed me up one time with fumes. I'd been varnishing when I first started all the varnishing. All of a sudden I couldn't see very well. Everything was blurry and fuzzy. And I was like, God damn, what's going on? And about an hour later it cleared up. And the next day I called the eye doctor, a friend of mine, and told him what happened. He called it something. He called it an ophthalmic migraine.
Mm.
And you can get them from fumes, strong fumes.
Yeah.
He told me he got them whenever his wife used fingernail polish remover.
Yeah.
And or if he got around paint thinner, lacquer thinner, he
Did you
he
see
would get them.
how our shop floor looked, that concrete floor that acid stained? I had to put a varnish top over the top of that acid stain, and that's how it did me. Like I was just seeing spots and just
Yeah.
feel all loopy.
It screwed up my eyes for a while. It scared the hell out of me. I didn't know what was going on. And I couldn't see. I couldn't read. Everything was so blurry. I couldn't read. But it went away. But the stuff is stout. It's really strong. But you know, I think it's hopefully it'll hold up for a while.
Yeah. You might sail around the world in that thing.
It's not meant to go. It's called a day sailor, camp cruiser. It's meant for, the bays and lakes.
Yeah.
It's not meant to go out in deep water.
Next one. Right?
Yeah.
How old are you, Joe?
Huh?
How old are you?
I'm 71.
71?
Coming up on 72, I guess. But this thing kicks up. This is why it's called a camp cruiser. This is all rigged up with a downhaul and an uphaul. So, and it floats in like 6 inches of water. So you can run it right up on the beach.
Oh, man.
Shallows. So one line pulls it up, and the other line wraps around there and pulls it down. And then there's a centerboard here, and it pivots. So you can pull it up. It's up now, but when it's dropped down, it hangs down 4 or 5 feet. But then when you're putting it on a trailer or coming in the shore, you pull it up, and then you can run it right up on the beach or on a trailer.
How tall of sails does one like this usually have?
That mainsail, I think, is 16. That boom is 16. Mast is 16 and a half feet.
16 and a half.
I think that's what it is.
How'd you get this round?
Planes,
Yeah.
spoke shades.
By hand?
I think the big ones I clipped. I might have made them, you start 4-sided, make them 8-sided, I might have, some of them I might have passed through a bandsaw or a table saw and clipped the corners off.
Guess you made that too, huh?
Yeah, that's what I've been working on lately is leather work.
Oh man.
Because it
that's
fits, see how it fits in there with this?
awesome. Yeah.
It gets trapped in there by this little wedge. So the leather gives it some padding.
Oh, okay.
So this drops in, and then there's a mortise and tenon in the bottom. And then this this fits in there, so that leather just keeps it from chafing and rubbing pads of the leather.
Kind of easier on that finish too. and
Yeah.
stuff. So you plan on kind of just using it recreationally for a bit, and then
All recreation.
right, and then eventually going to Maine to
Yeah, I'd like to take it up there.
use it, or just
Yeah,
try to-
take it up there and sail it. They have, it's called the Main Island Trail. It's like the Appalachian Trail. There's all these islands, all up Maine and Nova Scotia and
Yeah.
Newfoundland, and they're right offshore. And people, most of them are uninhabited. People just take their boats and go from one island to island and camp.
Huh.
So I thought that'd be. I'm a big camper, so I thought that'd be fun.
That's awesome.
Eat lobster.
Sound like you did some camping in your day. What you was talking about? Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's a pretty good storage spot there.
That's what all this for. These are watertight. They're underneath this is sheet of marine plywood, and it's epoxied to the hull and everything. And then there's gaskets on it, and they're meant to be watertight. So when you tip it over, they provide buoyancy and keep it from
Yeah.
sinking. And they give you a place, you put all your camp gear in there, keep it dry.
Is there a certain style of this boat here? What'd you call it? What type is this?
It's based on Norwegian and Shetland Island designs, old designs. It's double-ended, you see, it's like canoe shaped,
Yeah.
so it's called double-ended, it doesn't have a flat transom. And it's based on ancient Norwegian designs, like if you look at the old Viking boats.
That's what I was about to ask you. Was you gonna put on your Viking war paint when you took off?
The old Viking boats are shaped just like this, double-ended. And they did that, they were ferocious, badass, I mean, they were killers and murderers, and they were mean.
Yeah.
But they ruled the world at one point. And so when they did battle, everybody else had flat transoms, and they were rowing. And these boats, if you want to go forward or backward, because they're both pointed, you just
Go either way.
forward. So they would do battle, and that's how they got. They cleaned up on everybody because they could outmaneuver. And then that style has just stayed in the tradition.
Well, don't get out there and start ramming everybody.
It won't be on purpose.
Yeah, that's crazy there.
A set of oars, these oarlocks go here so you can row it if you're out there and the wind stops, because I'm not putting a motor on it.
So you're not.
I'm not hoping I'm not. A lot of people build this boat and they use it for rowing as much as sailing. It's supposed to row pretty easy.
Yeah.
It doesn't weigh much, 300 or 400 pounds.
You want to make some just for backup and aesthetics.
What?
Some oars.
Yeah, I got them right here.
Oh yeah.
You said this whole boat only weighs 300 or 400 pounds?
That's what they say. I don't know what that includes.
You made these?
Yeah. And then I've got to, they fit in these things here, with hook to the side. And when I ordered these, I thought they were bigger than they were. So this morning, and they were too tight, because I want to wrap this with leather, just like the others, to pad them. So This morning I had to do a little modification on it. So now I got to revarnish everything. But
I got you.
they go around here like this, then this comes on. And so this protects the oars when you're rowing. So the oars can swivel back and forth in there. And then there's another strip that goes right on the end here, and that traps it so the oars can't fall out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it'd be bad to get out there and lose an oar, wouldn't it?
if you were trying to get home, but these are made out of, I went to Lowe's and found some pretty clear 2x8 spruce
Yeah.
framing lumber. And that's what this is.
Just one board?
2 boards. It's
2 boards?
laminated, yeah. I planed it down and then laminated it. Because the thickest part's like 2 1/4 inches. So,
Yeah.
so I epoxied them together. You can see the seam down here, I think.
Oh yeah, I see it.
What type of glue do you use when you laminate 2 pieces of wood like that together?
Marine epoxy. This
Marine
stuff
epoxy?
Yeah, this stuff right here, 2-part epoxy.
Oh, okay.
It's like,
So it's kind of like JB Weld. You just mix them together and then you have
except it is,
to put it on quick.
it's unbelievable strong.
Yeah, that stuff. Pay for it too, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how the hull is, that's what's holding it all together. There's no ribs, there's no structure to it, you know, the hull is the structure. It's like a race car. So the planks overlap 3/4 of an inch, and then that joint is epoxy. And so that, you know, when you build it up on those forms, you bend it around those forms and glue each plank to the next one, and then when it's all done, it's, you know, it becomes a structure on its own.
You glue the overlap.
Uh-huh.
How hard was that?
It was
Yeah,
real
that-
hard.
Yeah, that
Real
overlap.
'Cause
Clamp down.
You've got to hand plane a taper that rolls along, it changes shape along the whole hull. So when those things lay over, you know, they've got to lay flat,
Yeah.
or you've got a big gap. So you have to plane off 3/4 of an inch, but the angle changes at every point on that boat. So you have to get over there with a hand plane, rabbit plane, and plane it by hand and roll with the shape of the hull so that when it's all done, it lays flat.
Wow.
And then here, then you gotta do, hey, this boat building, you know, I always heard boat builders are the finest woodworkers, and now I understand.
Yeah.
You can see here, it comes to 0, basically. Here, there's the stuff is
Oh.
3/8 of an inch thick.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you have to do a reverse bevel. One plank is beveled this way to 0. The other plank is beveled this way to 0. So when you lay them down, it comes here and meets this stem here. It's basically 0. Otherwise, there's going to be a gap in
Yeah.
there where the ocean comes in.
Right.
So not only do you have to do this rolling bevel on the planks, then when you get down here, you have to do this double taper beveling to get it all laid flat. Then you got to try and get it in there and hold it and glue it. It was by yourself too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All this
Man.
stuff. Yeah, boy, I struggled many a day trying to get it to go. I hope it will come apart.
I'd like to think one day I'd have enough patience to.
Well, it's a study in patience.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm patient, sometimes not. But somehow this was wonderful experience. It was very meditative, and I was able to usually stay pretty calm sometimes.
Yeah.
It'll turn blue.
I think your shop it's got a real kind of meditating vibe in it. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah, it
real
is for me.
intimate. Yeah.
It does to me.
it's inspiring to, makes me kind of want to put some hardwood floor down in my cabin and just turn it into a little shop, you know?
Yeah. Live in a tent. Live in a
man,
tent. That suits me. It's all done with planes. I mean, I bought some planes and they're just plain, everything's done. You can't use machines on a lot of it. It can't be done.
Yeah.
It has to be done by hand. Because like those bevels change.
Yeah.
Every foot are different.
I was looking at it, there's probably not a square cut on that
No,
thing.
there's one straight line in the center line in the boat. That's the only straight line in the boat. The center line goes right down the middle.
Yeah.
And everything else is curved. Shoot. And I got, according to this plane, this is a rabbit plane. I don't know if you know your planes.
Oh, nice.
This is what I used on all the planking, because you can plane right to the edge with what you need to. There's not use a regular plane. You got this edge here that gets in the way, so this is how you use the daylights out of this thing. This is like pantry or something, you know.
Did you learn how to garden and can stuff from your family
No, I
coming
learned
up? Or?
from old people in Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
That's really one of the big reasons I went to Kentucky was
Yeah,
to get around people who knew how to do that.
yeah,
So if you go into eastern Kentucky, there's no jobs, and the old timers there have always lived off the land.
I got you.
They know how to do everything.
That's how my grandmother and great grandmother and them did. They lived in Eastham Hill and they were sharecroppers and you know everything that they had remedies for everything. You know.
Yeah, they know how to get by on nothing because that's all they could do.
Wish I would have learned a lot more, you know. But when you're younger in life, you don't really care about that stuff, and then when you get older, you wish you knew everything they knew.
Is that why, you said that's why you went to Kentucky to kind of learn from them? Really?
That's nice.
You gotta pay that knowledge forward, right?
Yeah, I owe that.
We'll have to come hang out with you, and you can teach us some stuff.
I was just sitting here thinking about texting Joe after we leave, like, hey man, we should hang out more. He built this, had a solid walnut.
Man,
You said that was an idea you had for a while, and you finally got to.
I cut the tree down and took it, got it sawed up and dried it for about 6 years and turned it into that. This is, you might not know, this is butternut, this light stuff. You might not know what butternut is. Walnut,
oh, okay.
it's kin to walnut,
I got you.
and it grows in the north. There was a hunk of firewood in a friend of mine, well, Gordon Chandler's mother's house.
Yeah.
This piece of firewood,
That's right.
Well,
and that's butternut,
ended up with a much better life, didn't it?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, firewood.
It was headed for the stove.
For the furnace.
I'm trying to find an old antique stove, and I may have finally just found one. I've been looking for one.
Like an old style wood stove?
No, well, probably not. In Kentucky, I had a wood stove, a really beautiful one that I cooked on. It's hard, you know.
Yeah.
Summertime.
Yeah, run you out so hot.
Yeah, and I can a lot. I used to can on a wood stove. I mean, it's brutal. Because you're canning in July and August.
That's why you see a lot of people now have outdoor kitchens, you know, and they do all their canning and stuff outside.
I had friends who, they just moved their stove out on the porch.
Yeah.
But I wanted sort of something from the 30s or 40s, and people rebuild them, but they want $6,000, $8,000, $10,000 for them.
Man,
So I've been.
you have to build a house around that thing.
Yeah, I don't need a $8,000 stove.
No.
But some people have found one that I think they're gonna just give me if I want it. It's in Vermont. I have to go get it.
How's your tank? That's a tankless hot water heater there?
Uh-huh,
That's a propane one?
uh-huh.
Is it pretty efficient on propane?
Yeah, I put in a tank out there when I moved in. It's, well, I think it's getting close to 7 years. It's the same
Still.
250 gallons.
Still doing good.
So, and it's still got some in it.
And it just has a pilot light, and then when the pressure drops for the hot, it kicks on or
It
something?
doesn't have a pilot light. It ignites when you turn the water on.
Oh, okay.
There's no pilot.
So it just detects that pressure drop, is that, or it's got something that moves when
Yeah.
the water flows?
When the water flows, it turns on.
Kicks it on.
Mhm.
That's one of the main things, you know, like, we built a solar powered, you know, off grid cabin and everything, but heat and water is one, you know,
Yeah.
a main energy, cost and housing and everything, so, that's the first propane one that I've seen.
Well, they, you know, I take a shower in the morning and wash dishes in the evening. So to heat 20 or 50 gallons of water, for
Yeah.
that is crazy.
Probably even using a quarter of a
Yeah,
gallon or anything.
yeah, it's crazy. So this, you know, these are more expensive up front, and they're, if you get an electric one, it takes like 420 amp circuits.
Oh, yeah.
They're,
That heating element in that thing's
yeah, it's huge.
high. I wonder if do you know much about the electric ones? Are they AC induction, or do you
I don't know.
probably just a regular heating
But
element?
when I
About
looked into them and saw I was gonna have 420 amp circuits,
that's
no
that's half
way.
of your whole house.
Yeah, you can run
Right.
a house, 2 houses on
Yeah.
it.
Man, if you don't mind me asking, how much does a propane one like that cost?
I don't remember. I think it was like 700 or
Oh,
something.
okay.
I don't remember.
Yeah, that's a larger unit there too, isn't it? Or is that
Well,
about average size?
I think it's sort of middle of the road. I don't remember. You know, I don't need much.
Yeah.
But if you had 2 or 3 bathrooms, and, you know, people were taking showers
Yeah.
and running the dishwasher and doing laundry and all those things, you'd have to have something more than that.
Something more than that. Is that a vent on top of it coming out?
Yeah. But you can put your hand on it. It doesn't even
Did
blow
you
hot.
install all that yourself
No.
also? Oh,
Got some friends who put it in. But it works fine. I think.
works good.
Once a year, I get them to come out and they back flush it with vinegar water because it builds up scale and there's a heat exchange.
Oh, okay. The electricity, the current that uses, that's probably very minimal just to run the microprocessor on it.
It's hardly anything.
Yeah,
I mean, it's got its own 20 amp circuit.
I got you.
Probably
Doesn't
you
use
could run
very
10
much.
of those on a 20 amp circuit.
Yeah.
So it's all right. It's good for me.
Yeah.
I don't have high needs. But you need to. When I lived in Kentucky, I built and put in solar heaters, water heaters.
Yeah, that's what I built for ours, but we got 3 275 gallon tanks on a water tower that I built. 2 of them are for cold and 1 of them's for hot. And the tower that it's on, it's not enclosed, and a lot of the piping's not enclosed. So in the winter time, this is the first winter that we've been through since I built it. It just doesn't keep the water warm enough in that. It's got the solar hot water heater's on our roof, and it has a microprocessor temperature controller on it. So once the water in that, it holds a little over 3 gallons with black copper pipe back and forth, insulated with 1/4 inch glass over it. Once that water in that reaches whatever set temperature you set it at, the pump kicks on and pumps it from the hot water tank through that and back. So during the summer, I mean, all the way up to about, I'd say, the end of fall, you know, it did really good. But with not being insulated very well right now, that's why. But when we first went out there, I designed a wood-fired hot water heater with copper
That's
coils.
what we ended up building there mostly. Most people in Kentucky heat with wood in the winter. So we built, and we couldn't count on them to manage a drain down system or,
Yeah.
so we built thermosiphon.
Oh, okay.
If you know
So
what
yeah,
thermo-
with no pump,
no pump,
just
no electricity.
one going in at the top, one at the
Yeah.
bottom, and then just the
Yeah.
natural heat
The tank
circulation.
has to be above the outfeed of the collector.
Okay.
And as the hot water heated and rises, it will push itself.
Pull it through.
into
That's what I thought about doing on the next one. That I do it on our downpipe from our tower, tapping into that, and having the heating source here with the line at the top and the bottom. So as it heats, it naturally
Yeah.
circulates
It
through that.
works fine.
Yeah.
And then we would show them how to drain that down when it got cold, and then we rigged up, we took 1.5 D-shaped copper
Yeah.
tubing and welded a serpentine
Yeah.
radiator and attached it, tapped or welded whatever we needed to
Yeah.
the wood stove and put a plate on it. And then in winter, that would thermosiphon up to the tank.
Oh, okay.
So they had hot water summer and winter, no electricity, no drain down system, no antifreeze.
Man.
As long as they were home and kept their water, kept their heat on.
Yeah, and kept some heat going.
They had free hot water.
So with that you built, you could push the water back all the way up top to the tower, like
Yeah.
through
Well, it
through
was
just a
tank.
siphon.
It was we used a tank.
I got you.
And some people wanted, they had electricity. I mean, Eastern Kentucky's poor,
Yeah, yeah,
but some people wanted a backup, and so you can buy tanks especially made for solar, for panels.
How high did y'all have y'all's tanks?
Well, it depended on the situation.
Yeah,
It's got to be above the outfeed
yeah,
of either the stove or the collector in order
I got you.
to thermosiphon. But some of them had an electric backup in them, but most of them didn't. You can use an old water tank that's not.
Yeah, that'd definitely be the way to do it. That way you
Well,
wouldn't have any reliance on
It's
electricity.
the simplest,
Yeah.
and you don't have to worry about things freezing.
So is there any limit as to how high your tank can be as compared to
No, I don't-
your heating source?
I mean, no, I doubt it. I mean, I suppose if you were if it was a mile high or something, it
Yeah.
wouldn't go. I think
Huh.
we were putting them. We usually built shelves, or sometimes put them up on the second floor. So they were within a few feet.
I got you. That's what I've been working on a little bit, is a tiny house design. We have like utility room, and all your heat from everything is collected in that, and having a water tank up top that would thermosiphon from the wood stove, and all that.
If you can design it all out and put it's where the collector,
Yeah,
where the tank can, the lines would have to flow up to the tank,
yeah,
and the tank would have to be above. It seems like it was 16 inches or something. I forget the measurement. I'm
Yeah.
sure you could find it easy. Above the outfeed of the tank or the wood stove. So those lines, you can't, it can't go down because
and your tank doesn't even have to be sealed, does it? I mean, you could have an open top on your tank as long as both pipes were submerged in the water.
Yeah. We built some that we put a closed loop system so it, circulated inside the tank.
Yeah,
But that got so complicated. We just would pipe the lead into the tank and then outfeed at the top, and the water would just loop into the tank.
huh?
They work fine. And simple. And
Yeah,
I mean, there's lots of risks with solar heaters, drain downs,
yeah,
or even, the ones with antifreeze in them, those scare me. I don't.
yeah,
And then you still rely on pumps.
yeah, to keep
What
everything
happens when
moving.
the power goes out.
Yeah,
Then it's not circulating, then the fluid, whatever it is, antifreeze or water in the collector goes up to 200 or 300 degrees and bursts
yeah,
everything.
bust everything.
Yeah, they're delicate mechanisms.
There's a lot of things in today's time that are way over-engineered and relying on electricity. And you look back at the way people used to do things, so much simpler. Things are so over-engineered on some things now that it's like,
Well, when the old cook stoves, like the one I had in Kentucky, had copper reservoir right on the side of the
yeah,
stove, and
had your water in
the
there.
lady cooked all
Yeah.
morning, noon, and night
And
on
you
the
get by.
stove. They always had hot water and
Yeah.
a little spigot on it.
Yeah, that's how my wife and our kids, that's how, because in the wintertime, like I said, that solar hot water heater, it's not all insulated, so it's not sufficient to run the way we do. And we have just a wood stove and always have water sitting on the wood stove.
I had that. I had a big coffee pot, like something you'd see on a wagon train.
Yeah,
It's like this big or something. It probably held 2 gallons
Yeah.
or something. And I kept that on my wood stove. So I had that, and then the other stove. So that's all I ever had. I never had it I didn't have really running water in the winter up there in Kentucky. Most people have cisterns.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what a cistern is?
Yeah, just like a rainwater collection.
Yeah, that's what I use. And then I had a pitcher pump outside, and every morning I'd get up and pump it up into a whiskey barrel, because
Yeah.
they're all over in Kentucky. That's what I use. I'd fill that 50-gallon drum up with pitcher pump, and then it would gravity feed into the house.
Yeah.
But in the wintertime, that doesn't work, because it goes to 20 below in Kentucky.
So you've lived off grid and lived, and I guess what people would say is normal living and stuff now. Which way would you rather live?
Well, the more I can do for myself, the happier
Yeah.
I am.
That's how I am.
I,
Self-reliance, you know, not having to rely on anybody for anything. It just feels like freedom, you know.
that's the sort of theme that I try to live by. The more I can move from environmental support to self-support, the healthier I think it is,
Yeah.
and the healthier I am.
Yep.
You know, I'm 71, almost 72, and can still go pretty good. At some point, I know
Yeah.
the shit's gonna hit the fan. I won't be able to.
Anybody that pays any attention to anything in the world has got to come to that conclusion, you know.
I don't know, I think you might have figured it out. Keep living like this, you might live till you're 150 or something.
Well, last week I've got a friend in Noonan, he's 95, and he's a wealthy man, or he was, and he has help. He has a cook and people that work for him, so they can get him up and down the stairs and stuff.
Yeah.
But he still lives at home, you know, and he's very wobbly.
Yeah.
He broke his hip, and he has sort of some memory. I mean, he can remember stuff from 70 years ago, just like that. But
Man.
he sort of forgets, like when you set up a deal to go out to dinner with him, you gotta call him back that
Call him
day.
and remind him.
And he's 95 and still going. And I grew up skiing. I've been thinking about going skiing again. And he was a skier. He skied till he was in his 80s, his early 80s.
Man.
Then he had to quit.
Yeah.
He said, I just couldn't ski. So anyhow, the theme I operate under assumes, you know, a vigor.
Yeah.
As long as I'm able to get on a roof and, you know, shingles and
Keep doing it.
split wood and get in the sailboat.
I think that's a lot of the problem with a lot of elderly people is, you know, everybody around them tells them they can't do something, and then they get it in their head and they start believing it. Then they sit down and they never get back up.
That's what happens. They get from
Yeah.
TV and sit.
People are a lot more capable of doing things, you know, than what others will tell them.
Yeah, I've learned that, you know, genetics is a powerful thing,
Yeah.
and it rules.
Yeah.
And so, you know, some people are more likely to be successful at that than others. Some people aren't.
Yeah.
I have friends who are my age, and if they have to get on their knees on the floor to pick, they have to have help to get back up.
Man. And they've had a pretty active lifestyle too.
Yeah, not compared to some. But
Yeah.
I'm not to that shape yet, but I can feel,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not like I was when I was your guys' age.
Yeah.
It's not the same. So as long as
But
I'm
there's a
able,
season for everything.
I'm gonna do it like this, and then I'll either hope I fall over dead or figure out a plan B.
You don't seem to be too worried about it though. I think that's what makes the difference.
You know, I'll go as long as I can,
Yep.
and then figure out something else, I guess. You know, if you got kids and family, it's helpful. I don't have kids or family, so
Yeah.
if I get decrepit,
Yeah.
I got a problem.
By yourself. The older you get, do you feel the need to try to reach out and tell people how you've lived your life and try to show them different ways, or are you just kind of at the point where you don't think they're going to listen?
I've gotten more quiet and apart from the world as the older I've gotten.
Yeah. I mean, even at my age, that's how we've got. You know, you see the world, you want to fix it, but you don't know what to do. and you just kind of withdraw and try to step out of it, you know, as much as you can. And, you know, but, you know, I want to show people that there's another way. It's just very hard this day and time to even know where to start, you know, because the generation of people coming up now, unless they're showing something different, we're in a lot of trouble, you know. Do what you can, that's all you can do.
Well, lead your life the way you want to. That's,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't have TV and I don't read newspapers and stuff because whenever I do, I get all worked up.
yeah,
As long as I stay here and work, get up in the morning and work, I just work 7 days a week.
yeah,
I'm happy.
just keep
I
going.
stay happy.
That's what,
As soon as my tires hit that pavement, I get less happy.
yep,
By the time I'm to Buchanan, I'm less happy. By the time I'm in Carrollton,
yeah.
pissed. I don't like the world. So as long as I stay here,
Yeah,
I'm happy.
that's how it is.
And people say, well, you know, you've got to be more political. And I mean, I did all that when I
Yeah.
was young. You know, whatever time I have left, I'm going to try and stay happy.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
And like other people telling you that, you know, on one level or another, a lot of people want you to conform to what they're doing, you know, and how they see the world, you know. But no matter how, I mean, once
But it
you step
works
out
for
of it,
most
you
people.
can't go back. Is the way I look
Most
at it.
people, that's fine.
Yeah,
They fit right in.
yeah,
But I never have fit in.
yeah. That's a good sized garden here. I mean, you produce way more than probably just you eat, don't you? Or
I give away a little, but most of it's I eat about.
oh, you do eat most of it?
And then I can and freeze.
It's primarily what you eat, right? What do you do for meat?
I eat some meat, just
Some.
buy it. Yeah. I used to in Kentucky. I raised it. I've gotten where I like to go away for a while. Can't handle all this
Yeah.
when you go away.
To sell the world.
Is this compost here? Is what this is? You composting bins? You put grass clippings and stuff in there? Or do you try to keep your vegetable stuff and put in there too?
Yeah, everything goes in there. Leaves, manure, and all that.
So you try to do this without tilling, or do you till? No till
Turn it with a fork.
with a fork.
Tillers are bad for the dirt.
That's what I've heard. You know, that's what everybody tells you to do. But the more I look, you know, what's that called? Permaculture, I guess, where you try to do it without tilling. Ain't that what it's called? Do you know, Alex? Permaculture.
You do crop rotation?
Mhm.
Yeah. So
These are all winter peas. These green things growing out here. They're nitrogen fixing, and I turn those in the spring. They keep the weeds down, keep the soil
okay.
from getting packed down,
yeah.
and then they fix nitrogen in the spring. You turn them over. The roots are just covered with little white nodules. It's pure nitrogen.
Huh.
Pull out of the air.
So kind of just naturally put
Well,
more
all
nutrients
beans do
back.
that. All the beans do that.
Yeah.
You have to let us know before you take off in your boat, where we can come over here and write down a bunch of stuff. So, a lot of stuff you know, I'd definitely like to know.
You ever thought about writing a book?
Usually I grow more stuff, but I've been so obsessed with this damn boat. I didn't get much planted this fall.
I'd love for you and my grandmother to sit down and talk about some of the stuff. I bet that'd be a good conversation.
There's a lot of stuff. I got asparagus, raspberries, blueberries, figs. There's onions and garlic growing out there now.
Are you able to keep all your seeds? Is that what
Yeah,
you
I
started doing, keeping it?
The garlic and those onions there, I've been growing those since I lived in Kentucky when I was 30. So
Man,
I've been growing those same onions for 42 years.
man. That's the stuff now. We bought a bunch of seeds offline that were in sealed vacuum containers. It's supposed to be all heirloom, you know, organic seeds. But a lot of seeds you buy now, you don't even really know what all they did to them.
No, that's why you need to
Yeah,
make your own.
yeah.
I buy some, but I save a
So that's your roof there where that you got your put your shakes on. Look at that, bud. See that roof?
Yeah.
He cut all that wood himself. Hatches like a kind of like a little maul, like a wood splitter kind of. Cut all them and put them up there.
Is that?
Here you can see on the end how they overlap. You were asking about that.
See, bud?
See how they overlap where there's 3 layers everywhere?
Think you could do that? Yeah, you could. So what made you come to this area? Did you have some friends around
Well,
close?
I was actually planning to go to western North Carolina. I just was out, I've been always looking for land, and I was out here. I'd been out here in this area, and I liked it. And I was out driving around one time, and there was a for sale sign.
For sale. Well,
But I was getting ready to turn 65, and I was through the world, so I was planning to go to North Carolina.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna.
that's where Eustace Conway lives, ain't it? It's got that Turtle Island Preserve, the guy off Mountain Men.
I don't know what you're talking
It's in
He don't got TV.
oh, okay. Well, there's a show called Mountain Men. It's people that like live kind of like what you did a lot, you know. There's a guy up there that does a lot of talking at like TED Talks and stuff, you know. Yeah, he writes books.
Yeah.
I'd love to sit. I was up there close one day, and I almost went up there. I was up there in North Georgia working, and I just got the idea. I was like, I'm gonna go. It was like 3 hours away, and I was like, well, I don't even know if they'll even let me come in there. I wish I would have went, but I'd like to talk to them.
So yeah, last time I came here, that's kind of had where Shake's setup was.
Yeah. Well, was I splitting for that porch?
Yeah.
Or splitting?
You're splitting for the greenhouse,
Oh, yeah.
and I guess you're about done. I guess you just come out here and kind of it's almost like a meditative thing too,
Oh, yeah.
and you just make piles of them for a while. Yeah.
Make a pile and nail them on, and
Right.
make a pile and nail them on. Those are left over. These are real ones. Those ones inside, they were sort of
Man,
junk.
you said you put tar paper between each runs. Do you have to cut the tar paper? Okay. Huh. When you had your setup, how long would just roughly a pile like that right there take you?
Well, it
To,
depends on how good the log is.
oh,
If the
okay.
log is clear and straight grained, they pop right out.
I got you.
If it's not, you got to.
You had to work with it.
Yeah. A pile like that, I don't know, might take an hour or two,
Oh, okay.
a couple hours.
Well, that's moving on pretty good then. Stacking them almost 3 thick though, it takes a lot of them, don't it?
Yeah, because they only cover 6 inches.
6 inches.
Good, it's not set up for This is the key component right here. You prop it up on one end, and then you put 2 2x4s crossed in here that
Yeah.
jam together,
Uh-huh.
so it'll hold itself like that. And then you can see how it's been beat on here. But
Yeah.
you take a hunk of wood like that one there, and split out a billet and put it in here, and then drive that fro that was in there down to get it started, and then pick it up, and then you can use these to pry against,
Oh, okay.
and they'll,
To kind of get a little pressure, a little leverage on it.
yeah, and you can pry them apart.
So where'd you first see that at, or how'd you come up with that idea?
Well, I did it when I was in Kentucky. You probably know about the Foxfire books, right?
No, I don't
You
guess
don't know
so.
about the Foxfire books?
Uh-uh.
Well, when I was,
Sounds like something I might need to get.
oh yeah, well, it's a school in the North Georgia mountains where this guy started, it was like you know, people were losing the skills of the previous generations.
Yeah.
And these students, you know, they hated school and quit, and, you know, all the problems. He was a teacher at this school, and he got them interested in going out in the community and interviewing old farts like me,
Yeah.
and they would show them how to split shingles, or butcher a hog, or build a log cabin, or
Oh, man.
make lye soap.
Yeah.
So,
Do you make any soap from your wood ash? You know, use wood ash? Yeah.
Long time ago.
What's it called? Foxfire?
Foxfire.
I'll
And it's
check
a
that out.
magazine.
Oh, okay.
It used to be. I don't know if it's still a magazine or not, but there was a series of books that were little articles that the students would write. You know, they'd go see Uncle Henry, and he'd show them how to split shingles.
Yeah.
And so that's how I learned how to do it, was out of the Foxfire books.
Well,
'Cause
so you never really, don't sound like you really had too many mentors that just showed you how to do something. You just
Well, you know,
wanted to learn.
when I went to Kentucky, I had 80-year-old neighbors who'd
Yeah.
never been off the farm.
Oh, okay. So they
Yeah.
helped you with
That's
some
where
of that.
I learned a lot. That's how I learned how to can and
Yeah.
put up food from the old ladies. And then I learned some about gardening, but you know, their kind of gardening and my kind of gardening wasn't the same. They got out the 10-10-10 every year.
Yeah.
They saw a bug, they'd spray it with
Oh.
everything they could.
Yeah.
But they, you know, saved seeds,
Yeah.
a lot of them, and so that part I used, but other parts I had to just figure
Yeah.
out.
Weed out.
Yeah.
That's what you do a lot of times. I mean, to really figure out some things, you take a lot of knowledge that people tell you, and you kind of test things, and then weed out what you think's right, and then come to a completely different way of doing things. Okay, take off, bud. Huh? You can't.
You want to go see the creek? You like creek? Yeah. Okay, well, let's
Say yes,
go
sir.
look at the creek. This way.
That's the lake.
That's the pond. That's where I'm going to float the boat.
That's where he's gonna put his boat. He said he's got a boat in there. No. Jump. Yeah. He's got a nice flowing creek here. He's got a nice flowing creek.
This is where I bathe. Not now, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it stays ice cold. It comes out of the hill up there.
Gives you some energy when you get out of it, don't it?
Yeah, you invigorated.
Is it usually flowing this much, or just from all the rain?
It's usually it slows down in August, but it usually does pretty good.
We got a big creek in front of our cabin. In the summertime, him and the other one, they always in it.
I hope you enjoyed our video, and please remember to like and subscribe.